guys, welcome back to my channel. Today video is gonna be while I'm driving, and I've been trying to record this video, but having to do the whole setup at home because I don't have an actual YouTube setup. It's in my bedroom, so a lot of the times I have to put the lights up and set up that way. And lately with the holiday, I've been so busy for the past, I think the last video I posted was the day before Christmas. So yeah, Christmas Eve. So I thought my first video that I posted, you guys were in the car with me anyways because I'm constantly busy. So what's wrong with me doing a little car video and talking about what I wanted to talk about in the first place? So if you're new here, my name is Vanessa. Welcome to my channel. To join the family, all you have to do is click that red subscribe button down below. And welcome and thank you. So to jump into the video, and sorry if I'm looking this way, of course it's different recording on my iPhone. I have to remember to keep looking at the front camera. I usually record from the back camera, so if see that, talk about raw video. So if I usually record from the back camera, but today I'm gonna be recording from the front camera. So the purpose of today's video is, I know it's New Year's. Happy New Year, by the way. And a lot of people are setting goals for themselves, New Year resolutions and stuff like that. I don't normally do New Year resolution because if I have a goal or something to work on, no matter what time of the year it is, I'm going to do just that. I'm going to work on it. But I understand the New Year bring new start, like fresh start, to try again, try harder, to be more motivated. So that I understand. So for me, I have set goals for myself. My goals tend to be monthly. So since it's the new year and people are setting goals for themselves, I thought I'll do a video on what I do to stay sane in this new society of ours. 2018 was very rough for me. I went through a lot. I'm sure we all go through our own battles. But 2018 was really difficult and it was really hard for me. And I worked extremely hard to stay sane. Work that I put in that nobody else would have known. I just put dedicated work to myself so that I stay sane up here. So I limit how much I was overthinking. And I thought based on that, I could give you guys some tips. I won't say tricks, but some tips on maybe what you could do to get out of your head, to help you on your day-to-day life. I was the busiest last year as well, battling everything in personal life. So of course, if I was home, I will have a book which I have everything written down into, and I will be able to tell you guys easily. But since I'm driving, it's gonna be a little different. So the first thing I started doing based on a book I was reading, Think and Grow Rich, was to cut out social media completely for, I'd say, a month. Prior to this, what I always did, generally I don't even like the music that is on the radio, and it becomes very repetitive as well. Maybe if I open this to get some light. Music on the radio becomes very repetitive, so I normally did not listen to the radio like now. My radio is always off. Or if I do listen to radio, it's music from my phone that I choose to listen to, because I do strongly believe that music you listen to puts you into a certain type of mood, which is why we listen to a certain music based on how we're feeling. So I constantly have my music off. To me, it's just noisy, especially in the morning. I work early in the morning like most people do, and I just feel like that early in the morning, listening to a lot of noise is a little disturbing for me personally. Everybody is different. So I kept my radio off. So I read a lot. I started listening to a lot of audiobooks. I'm sure everybody know what audiobooks are. Of course, I love to sit and look at the actual book, but I was in school working a lot. If I didn't have time, I had to spend that on studying, so I didn't have time to open a real book. So I listened to audiobooks a lot. Even though I did buy myself the actual book, I just have to. I always buy the book because I like to go back and like highlight. So reading or listening to some type of audiobook podcast. I started listening to Oprah's podcast, which I love. Thanks to my brother, I fell in love with that. So for the first 30 days, that's what I did. I cut out all types of social media completely. I set myself on this schedule I didn't stick to, but where an hour before bed I put my phone away. Sometimes it wasn't an hour, but it was maybe like 30 minutes before bed or something. I put my phone away. If he texted, I wouldn't respond. Trying to go to bed early. And that was a time where I had a lot on my mind, and I needed that. So I chose to cut out every distraction, especially social media. So cutting out social media, listening to audiobooks or podcasts, reading to help your mind stay on track of what you want and find. I've read a lot of self-help books when I did have time to read. The Fourth Agreement, The Fifth Agreement, Mastery of Love, Zen and the Art of Happiness. Those are a few self-help books that I genuinely love and really, really helped me. Mastery of Love was a trip. What else? I can't think of any other books from the top of my head. So for me, I'm at a red light, so I'm gonna open my book so I can have some stuff that I wrote down. For me, those help a lot. Writing things down was a big one for me. I'm a visual learner. I have a terrible memory, so for me, writing things down generally helps me. This is my journal, and it's not my journal, it's my planner. This is the month of January that was inspired by Willie, that is on YouTube as well. I draw my calendar down every month. I write down things that these are unfinished, but just to give you guys an idea, I wrote down everything that came to my mind, everything that I knew would help me. Sometimes what I was feeling, I will write it down. If I didn't have my book at the time, I wrote it in my phone. Yeah, so writing things down is a big part of staying sane. Another thing I did was I purchased a diffuser and got essential oils. As you know, if you look into essential oils, some people believe that there are some benefits from essential oils and calming effect. So what I did was I just got essential oils, and for a while there I meditated with my essential oils. Or it doesn't even have to be meditation, but just a minute of, whether it's 5 minutes of your day of just silence. And I will turn on my diffuser, and it has a Bluetooth, so I would just listen to something while I just stay constant in that moment. I think that's all it is about meditation, is staying constant and bringing yourself back to that constant state. So whenever I would drift away, the idea of it is to bring yourself back to that moment. So that's something I did a lot of. The gym, I love the gym. I do not love getting to the gym. I do not love the process of actually getting to the gym. I don't think there's anybody that loves the process of getting to the gym. But once you're there, it's like you're in this world that, like, everybody there is working on themselves, whether it's physically, mentally. The gym for me is mental. I do not go to the gym necessarily just because I have this idea of my body, or like I'm striving to get a summer body. No, I decided to start the gym to make it a lifestyle. Lifestyle, people. That's the key word here. It wasn't a quick fix. I'm not looking for a quick fix. I'm looking for a long term. I slip off. I fall off sometimes, like the holiday, I fell off. But every time I'm in the gym, whenever I'm done with a workout, or when I'm doing my workout, the time flies. And 2, I feel really good after the gym. And 3, I tend to do a lot of thinking as well in the gym. It's like it's a part of my me time, because I go to the gym by myself, which I prefer. It's a little me time. I'm there in this place for an hour or hour and 15 minutes, and I will shower in the gym. And for me, that was therapeutic, and it is therapeutic, and it really helps me with my day. After the holidays, I'm trying to get back to my morning gym schedule. I was just checking the time. So the gym helps me a lot. I'm at a red light, so I'm gonna look in here. Being aware of your thoughts, being aware of your feelings. Yeah, I'm on Lincoln Drive, and if you live around this area, you know that Lincoln Drive is terrible for potholes. So sorry, yo, but red light. Now it's a chance. Yeah, I think that's all I have written down. When I did need to listen to music, because music is therapeutic for me. I think it is for a lot of people based on what you listen to. But whenever I needed music, for me, I just chose a different type of music. I do love people like Celine Dion and Phil Collins and Luther Vandross, and those kind of music, or the music that old Brandy, those are Shania Twain. I love those type of music. I love those type of artists. I love old music. So generally, if I wanted to listen to a music, I would just choose something that was soothing to myself, to my soul. And yeah, I think those are some of the main things I did. And all of these things come with spending time with yourself. Well, I know there are a few people that don't really like spending time with themselves, or don't really know what to do when they're with themselves. You have to learn to love being with yourself and spending time with yourself, because if you can't spend time with yourself, how do you expect somebody else to spend time with you? So a lot of these things give you the chance to just be constant with yourself, be one with yourself, pay attention to the things that tip you off. And the question is, why do I feel this way? Those are questions I started really genuinely asking myself in my head when I started to overthink, or if something tipped me off, it was like, why am I feeling this way? And of course, I know my flaws, and I know I have a lot to work on. Not to go off a rant, but I think understanding where you come short, or where you need help, or where you need to work on is key, because then the type of podcast you listen to, or the type of books you read, or the type of people you socialize with will all connect itself into one. So yeah, it's the new year. Hopefully you take 1 or 2 things from here. One thing I will suggest to anybody is to challenge yourself to stay off social media. I was waking up, and the first thing I would do is go on social media, and that has changed, by the way. I started forgetting to go on Instagram. I will wake up in the morning, the first time when I started it, the first few days, or I think a week out of that month, it's like, it was like an instant thing. Of course I deleted it off my phone. It was like an instant thing. I wanted to go on social media, and then I didn't know what to do with myself in the morning. Like, okay, what do I do with myself? And then it became normal. I started pouring myself a cup of tea. Or another thing I did was, or I still do now, is I wrote down my goal and what I wanted to work on, what I wanted to achieve based on the book that I was reading, which is Think and Grow Rich. And yeah, like to read it every morning, every night before I went to bed. I did that, memorized it in my head, so if I was ever not home and I didn't have my board, I was able to just, you know, say that out loud, well, in my head. It didn't have to be the full thing, but yeah. So yeah, I challenge you to stay off Instagram, Twitter, what other social media, Facebook, those type of social media. I challenge you, or you challenge yourself to stay off it, even if it's a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. You could do it. So yeah, I think that's it for now. Happy New Year once again. It's 2019, which is crazy. There's so much to be grateful for. I know I'm grateful for my health and even being able to sit here and have this whole type of rant. I hope something I said helps you in whatever you're trying to achieve. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching my video. Subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys when I see you. I'm looking for parking, y'all. I'm at work. I'm looking for parking. I can't find any. Yeah, so I will see you guys when I see you, and stay humble. Thank you for sticking with me through my potholes, my bumps, and yeah, bye.